You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Have you ever gone to a psychic? By the way, I have, to learn about your future. Today, we're going to talk about the future from an intuitive perspective. This is the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Patricia, and I'm here with my husband, Jason. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, let's get to the heart of the issue. Why can't we predict the future?
Because we live in a free will zone.
Okay.
And when this is obvious to those with intuition and what we call evolved consciousness.
Okay.
You know, and it's our knowing that if enough people have the same evolved consciousness,
right, we
would all agree about these things. It wouldn't be a matter of there's so much conspiracy theories today, and people believe in whatever they want to believe, and blah, blah, blah.
Wait a minute. Believing in what you want to believe, that's not the issue. It's how they come to those beliefs.
Yes. And what we're saying is that when we're connected to our essence, and our essence is connected in a healthy way to the rest of the world, the universe.
Right. I love that.
Then
Healthy
we
way.
all have sort of an understanding of the basics.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, in order to believe in future prediction, you have to believe that our thoughts and energy is irrelevant to what happens to you. So many people believe that God is micromanaging our fate, or that it doesn't matter what you think or feel. And many people believe that our fate exists, that we have some sort of plan or fate that's going to happen.
A timeline.
Yes,
okay.
This is going to happen to you no matter what.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
okay.
and you know, this is completely opposite of free will, which is
exactly.
You know, if we have free will, it's up to you to make it. Now, the problem is that with programming.
Right.
We think, oh, we got free will. We can make our own lot, make our life happen the way we want to.
Okay.
Then we use our ego, and we force it.
Oh, yeah. And
that's the distinction that we're trying to make with the ecosystem approach.
Well, and then there's one more point here, and it's that some people go with, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and see what happens. So the caution to the wind, first off, that's a great philosophy, but it doesn't always pay the bills, buy the groceries, and allow us to live
well, yes,
comfortably.
The thing is that when we program ourselves, it can pay the bills.
Yes.
The problem is that our essence is our rudder. And when we program ourselves, we push our essence away. Right. We push our emotions away and say, you know, then when we do that, then we have this rudder that comes from experts or outside best practices or someone else's
programmed.
advice.
It's programmed.
It's
is
programmed.
What you're saying. Okay.
And what we're saying is use your essence as your rudder.
Okay.
And as you remove the negative energy from your essence,
okay,
what happens is that your essence says, oh, go this way or go this way or go this way. And you remove some more and you get more. Oh, you need to do this, you do that.
Right.
And that's the future that everybody should want to have.
Well, exactly. And you know what, Jason, when you and I first met, we've talked about, we've had a conflict or two, and but I started clearing, I think within, you know, it was like a month or so after I met you. You said you wanted me to be a guinea pig, all that sort of thing. Here's my point: that when I started doing the clearing, doing the ecosystem approach, and it was just brand new, so to speak. What I found was my essence, when I started removing negative energies off of my essence, what I found was that the rudder that you're talking about, my essence started, I could actually start to hear and listen to what it was
yes,
having to say,
exactly.
what it was saying. And it was saying, and this was, and I the people that you've been with, they're not in your best interest. This is coming from my heart, everyone. The people are not in your best interest that you've been spending a lot of time with. But you can't just walk away because there are obligations and so forth. But what I did discover is that I could start to see who was in my best interest and what was in my best interest.
The first thing is that when people hear that I wanted you to be a guinea pig, it wasn't just
it wasn't exactly like that.
I didn't want a pet. It was just that I wanted her to try the clearing out. I wanted her to try the clearing out.
Exactly. And he saw me as being somebody that, it might really show a few things, meaning huge changes. And by the way, it did.
Yeah.
Everybody saw these huge changes. And I'll be honest with you, I had no idea because I was just dealing with that negative, dark energy. I had no idea that I could do things any other way.
Well, and if you're listening right now, chances are you've been acting from your ego, not from your essence.
Ego is programmed.
It's programmed. It's
programmed behavior.
Ego is, well, I want that BMW because then I'll look like
I'll look good. Yes. Everyone will think I'm yes.
Or my ego doesn't want a BMW, it wants a Volvo, because I'm thrifty and mechanical and all that or thrifty and practical. So
yes.
My ego wants, it doesn't really matter. Your essence is about who you marry and what job you choose. And your
goals in life. I mean, we all come in with purposes, not just one, but purposes. And in other words, I'm not just somebody who has an intuitive ability. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have doggies. I take care of my mother-in-law. Those are purposes. And it's how I do those purposes that matter.
Yes. And connecting with your essence may not change what you do at all, but it may change how you do it. Because to connect with your essence, you have to remove the negative energy. We say this in every show. We use the ecosystem approach, because we know that human beings need to be uncovered instead of programmed.
And when we're talking about the uncovered part, what we're talking about is uncovering the energy, the negative energy that's blocking you from the clarity that you need about your life, not anybody else's life to start, just yours.
So I wanted to say real quickly about how we know that we live in free will.
And I was going to ask you about that.
And frankly, when, for Patricia and I, it's like we will live in free will, and it's like, it's like a cha-chink. And it's because we've been clearing away this negative energy from our essence.
Right.
And as we connect with the non-physical dimension, it's sort of obvious.
Yeah.
And we know that there are a lot of people out there right now that are listening. They think, "Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that makes sense."
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I used to, I had a Christian background back in the 80s, and they talked about free will now. And now I hear Christians talking about, well, God said this, and God wants this, and God chose this person, and I'm thinking, wait. That's a complete change in what we were taught
what you were taught before. Exactly.
And I'm thinking, where did that come from? Well, the rudder is gone.
Yeah.
It's we have this intuitive sense about what's true, what's not true.
Exactly.
And when it comes to the future, that's trying to people that come to us, and we've had this. I wanted to talk about this, yes, but people have come to us a lot, trying to game the future,
right?
And that's for their ego's sake. I want to know what's going to happen to me so I can figure out a way to maximize,
whatever I'm doing.
And we've always said we don't predict the future because it can't be predicted.
Well, and that's going to bring me to the last point, and then we'll do the key points. Using intuition, our essence, and the energy you have, your energy, you have a huge resource to create the future that you want.
Yes. And we call it evolved consciousness.
Exactly. So with that said, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We all live in free will, and theoretically can be able to manifest whatever we want.
Okay, I love that.
God or fate does not determine the outcome of our lives. The greatest gift that we've been given as human beings is the ability to choose our free will.
Correct.
And information about free will is available to everyone with intuition and consciousness.
Okay.
And the ecosystem approach teaches you to have evolved consciousness so you can have the future that you choose.
And right now I choose to close out this segment. In this next segment, we're going to talk about how we see trends and how we see how the energy is starting to move in a particular direction. Everyone can have this ability. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune into 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce every first and third Tuesday of the month at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. Join Susan and her guests as they share the stories that shift our souls about radical transformations, courageous breakthroughs, and life lessons. 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce. For more information, go to transformationtalkradio.com or visit Susan's website at susandolce.com.
Has your kindness been used against you? Are you ready to clear the confusion and reconnect with your power? Then it's time to become toxic person proof. Join toxic relationship specialist Sarah K. Ramsey as she gives you the secrets to rebuilding and rebranding your life after a toxic person encounter. It's time to get past the past, get real about the present, and get serious about your future. For more information, visit sarahkramsey.com.
Did you know that when we talk about the Earth's ecosystems, the most important ecosystem has been left out? We created the Ecosystem Approach to recapture human potential.
Find us at theecosystemapproach.org.
Join us every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how we see trends and how we can see how the energy is starting to move in a particular direction. Everyone can have this ability. We use the Ecosystem Approach to you, which is much different than what we are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, what do you mean when you say we don't predict the future, but we see trends? What does that mean?
When you take an energy approach to your life,
okay,
you can see how the energy is organizing.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at people, we see talents and abilities.
Oh, yeah.
We see directions that they're moving in.
Right.
We see blocks,
Right.
And we've been doing this for 20 years. So it's not
Right.
like we just started this. We've been doing this. This has been our life for 20 years.
Right. And by the way, when we started out, I know we talked about it the last show, I believe, when we started out, we would go sit in a park in the middle of San Francisco, and I would read, and Jason would say, what do you see? And then we'd, and by the way, we didn't point at people. the guy in the blue sweater, that one. Okay. That kind of thing. And we didn't know these people, but what we were doing was we were people watching, but we figured out that there were certain things that we could see.
You use that story a lot, but I've never told you this. But one of the reasons I like that so much is because you fed me when we did that. We'd have this little picnic, and she had crackers, and it was
and
usually
cheese
crackers,
and salami or things like that.
And then avocados. Yeah, it's just anyway. So I really enjoyed it because I got fed. But anyway. So. But we read people.
Wait, I have to tell a secret here. His first two wives, they could cook okay, but they didn't have a lot of flair with it. Let me just say it that way, or creativity. And Jason was in awe that I could actually do that, but he didn't realize until we were together at least 3 months that I could even cook, and he was so shocked. And I just made eggs. It wasn't anything big, but he was so shocked. But the trend was and this is my point, because his first two wives didn't really cook or didn't have creativity. He figured the trend would be that I would have the same thing.
Yeah, that's not a really good point.
It's an amazing point.
What I'm talking about, the trend. Let's talk about the trend, okay?
That was a practical one.
Yeah, okay. Well,
right.
When people come to us all the time and say, is this the right time to get married, or is this the right time to make a job switch or whatever? We look at the trends and share that with them. And so one of the best ways to determine the trend is to look at your Enneagram type.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that when we developed the ecosystem approach, there was these pieces that were kind of laid out, and I knew, just using my intuition, that the Enneagram was going to be a big part of it. And
it is.
And the Enneagram, what's so important about the Enneagram, it tells you through your personality with the correct typing. That's a big if, okay? But if you're correctly typed, then you can see through your personality, your personality compulsions,
right?
Whether you're under stress, whether you're going forward, and what kind of things are in your best interest. For example, if you're a 7 and you want to take on more responsibility or do 10 more things, it's probably not a good idea.
I was kidding. Maybe not in the best interest. Yes.
7s need to back off from all the balls they have juggling in the air and
by the way, 7s innately, we'll say it that way, can do 20 things at once. The key there is are they doing them in their best interest?
Well, and a 9, for example, always wants to maintain the status quo,
right?
So when they want to just keep things the way they are, it may not be in their best interest to do that.
Exactly.
So, and then an 8 always wants to make a bold move. That's innate to an 8, and it's not necessarily the best thing.
Right.
What I'm saying is that, and people are saying, what does it have to do with the trend? Well, if you know your Enneagram type,
right,
then you can start to see, the Enneagram is organized so that you have areas of stress. For example, a 7 gets stressed and it reverts to 1. A 7 evolves and it goes to a 5. And if you understand the traits of a 5 and the traits of a 1,
right,
you know that your energy is organizing in a more stressful way or a more positive way.
Well, and also you could also say that if a 7's doing the stress thing, one of the things you could say is use the ecosystem approach to calm the 7 down, because 7s work on frenzy energy all the time.
Exactly.
And so calm them down.
So that's one way of seeing the trends. And let me another example.
Okay.
If you receive a cancer diagnosis, it reflects a negative trend.
Yeah.
Just period. It's saying that there's negative energy that's been accumulating.
Exactly.
And that is expressing itself as a cancer diagnosis.
That is correct.
It could be a heart condition. It could be a good example would be your heart valve.
Okay.
When that was diagnosed, we've been clearing for a long time when we found that. But what the message was, the trend was, we were focused over here, and the trend was saying we should focus more over here.
Correct.
And we did it, and things worked out really well.
Exactly.
There's another way to look at negative energy or the trends.
Okay.
And that's with astrology.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
A lot of people, when I talk about astrology, they give me the
Okay.
I don't
sure.
I don't
yeah.
believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
Look,
Right.
and unfortunately, there's been a lot of what I call bubblegum astrology.
Yes.
Oh, what's your sign?
Yes.
Who you
Yeah.
who you going to be? Who's going to be? Who's
Sitting in a bar. What's your sign? Yeah. No.
I've never sat in a bar, but it's if you're using it as a pickup line, I would suggest you go to another
Something
thing.
else. Yeah. Figure something else out. Right.
But it's a great language
Mm-hmm.
for energy.
It really is. If you see it from a practical, put your feet on the ground type of perspective.
And astrology, you have what they call a natal chart, or the energy that you were born with, your natal chart. And then you look at what's happening in the world astrologically, and how that has a relationship with your natal chart or your energy you were born with.
That's right.
And you can start to see trends. Oh, this is going to be a difficult year. Why is it going to be a difficult year? It's going to be a good year. Why is it going to be a good year? How can you take advantage of it?
Okay.
What sectors of your life is it going to be a good year for? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's great. But here's the most important thing.
Okay.
If you want to understand the energy trends in your life, it's the time to commit. This is the beginning of the year. Commit to doing the ecosystem approach. If you're listening right now and you say, yeah, I want to know the trends in my life. I want to know my Enneagram type. I want to know the ecosystem approach. And
it's
all you have to do to get started is listen to our show every week, do the clearings at the end.
Yes.
Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for our free section and our weekly newsletter, and you get clearings every day. Not every day, but every week, and you'll get things to clear, and you'll start to uncover your essence.
I'm going to say it a little bit more from my perspective.
Okay.
First off,
you always say it from your perspective.
I do, but don't tell anybody. Anyway, the bottom line is that when you know your Enneagram type, and there's always a test in the book of, are you this? Do you do that? That kind of thing. That's fine. Oftentimes that is misrepresented. I'll say it that way.
A lot of mistyping.
Totally. And we're not talking about typing on a keyboard. We're talking about mistyping your Enneagram type. You were mistyped.
I was originally, we've met quote unquote Enneagram experts who mistype themselves.
Oh, I know.
And we say that because we type people via our intuition.
Exactly.
And it's the most reliable way.
And so there's definitely that. But when you see when you start to understand I don't know if I will, the things that you need to look out for in your Enneagram type, then you can start using the ecosystem approach to get rid of the things you don't like about you. And that was one of the biggest things that I discovered about the Enneagram.
So in this, with regard to this topic, the trend,
yes,
if you're going down a negative trend, and you may just know that if you're listening to things, you think, I'm not
liking them where I'm going. I got it.
People have said to us, they've come to us and said, I can't catch a break.
Well,
that's a negative trend.
That's a negative trend.
Health problems,
right.
Relationship problems. That's a negative trend.
Right.
The way you deal with that is not doing something.
Yeah.
Not taking action, changing the energy.
Exactly. Because, and you do that with the ecosystem approach.
Exactly.
That's where I was trying to get. When you start changing those negative energies that you're stuck in, that being stuck in them, it's really awful.
Yes.
Because you feel powerless and you can't do anything about it.
And we're taught that, I need to go
programming.
This is programming, 10 easy steps to whatever. If you going down the grocery aisle and you see 10 easy steps to whatever thing, a good marriage, a better orgasm. There's always orgasms in the
somewhere.
Exactly. Better marriage, more money, less weight.
Yes.
That's all programming.
Exactly.
And I guarantee you there's energy that's creating those problems for you, and you have to clear those first. Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be a path for you personally.
Right.
That's not for me and not for Patricia, but for you personally that you're going to take that's directed by
Amazing.
by your essence.
Right. So I want to say, before we do key points, now is the perfect time to commit to using the ecosystem approach.
Yes.
Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Seeing and framing your life in energy terms, you begin to see trends.
Mm-hmm.
Your Enneagram type can give you insights to your energy and decision making, and your astrology can give you a language and ability to see trends that you can use to your best advantage. And the ecosystem approach teaches you to see, work, and interpret energy with your highest and best interest.
I love that. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how you create your future instead of trying to predict it. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Stuck in a roundabout of dysfunction? Learn how to speak your truth to power with host Dr. Kathy Obear. Create real change with smart tools and smart strategies. No frills, no fluff, just life-changing conversations to help get you where you want to be. Extend your reach and become an agent for real change with Kathy Obear. For more information on Kathy and her work, please visit drkathyobear.com. That's drkathyobear.com.
Hi, I'm Trish Laub from A Cup of Comfort, where we talk about Care Hero topics that nobody wants to talk about. Here's your Care Hero tip of the day. During all Care Hero journeys, the need to keep track of a lot of information arises, some of it critical. Possibly the greatest challenge Care Heroes face is the gathering and organizing of information. Just as every trade has a power tool, whether an electric drill or a laptop, my family's Care Hero power tool was the 3-ring binder. We generated a mini library of labeled 3-ring binders, one for each category of information, complemented with additional spiral notebooks used to detail medical appointments and episodes. This unfussy and convenient system of binders helped my family stay organized and able to deliver the dignified care and end of life my parents desired. Tune into my show to learn more. See you on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 12 Pacific here on Transformation Talk Radio. Feel free to reach out to me at info@trishlaub.com.
Learn how to lead a happier life on Miles to Go with Brittany Miles. How to lose to gain it all. Join Brittany every second and fourth Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Listen as coach and healer Brittany Miles shares stories that teach you about surrender. For more information about Brittany, milestogocoaching.com.
Healing has a ripple effect. One person's healing affects everyone around them. This is where the power of sharing our stories can be so important. Tune in to Playing on the Edge Radio with Megan Edge each month on Transformation Talk Radio, as Megan provides you with ways of sustaining radical and powerful changes in your life. Enact the power of radical change. To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how you create your future instead of trying to predict it. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason. What is so different about creating your own future? I mean, isn't everyone out there telling you that you can make it happen?
Yes.
Go for it. You can make it happen. Yep. Okay, Jason.
This time of year, I'm screaming at the TV more than ever because I see all these New Year's resolutions. We should do this or create new habits or create new ways of living your life.
10 easy things and you'll lose 20 pounds.
Yes. And those are strategies and techniques.
Right.
And what we're saying is that most people try and create their future from their ego, which is things that they think they want.
Right. Right.
they don't think about creating their future from their essence or their unique energy.
Right.
And that's the distinction we're trying to make. The way to do resolutions, make changes, or create your own future is determine the energies that are blocking you.
Right.
And then remove them.
Well, and if you think about it, let's go with weight loss for just a moment. I realize that's a huge thing. But
right now, weight loss is a big deal.
Right now, everybody starts. I'm going to start at the beginning of the year. Okay. And I love the one where they say, I'm going to start January 1st. And then they go, oh no, I have a really bad hangover. And there's all these pies and cakes So leftovers. Okay. So here's my point. When you program yourself to stop eating sugar or stop drinking, those kind of things, the programming, it can work to a certain extent, and then it's too hard because that negative energy is standing in your way, and it's calling you and saying, "There's a cookie in the cupboard," that kind of thing.
Well, and so let's
or there's a bag of cookies in the cupboard.
Let's explain that. Okay.
Okay.
In programming, you just do it. You do more exercise. You do a diet. You force yourself to do a diet.
Right.
It takes energy
and
it takes willpower. And the reason it takes willpower,
exactly.
It's not coming from your essence.
Right.
It's coming from your ego, because you believe that if I look great in that bathing suit, then I'm gonna find a husband. I'm gonna get a relationship. People are gonna like me more.
Right. But when you do those things, those programming things, people don't realize that they're actually hating and eating that hate, or hating how they're supposed to be. They hate it. So then they do what? They start pulling a negative energy of hate to them.
Well, and you have to be more clear about that.
Okay.
What's happening is that when you look at the mirror and you hate your body,
what
does it make you want to do? It doesn't make you want to not eat that cookie. It makes you want to eat that cookie.
Because it's hopeless. It doesn't matter. And I don't matter. Those are the things.
Here's the most important thing about that. And we're not talking about weight loss today. It's about the future. But, in your fat cells, and the energy that in the fat that you want to get rid of to lose weight is negative energy. And if you don't get rid of that negative energy first, it's going to come back, because you can take off the weight, but the energy's still there, and the energy's going to attract that weight back to itself.
Exactly.
That's why the roller coaster,
yo-yo dieting is
dieting.
Basically what it's called. So let's take this to predicting the future. The bottom line is that when we do resolutions, what happens is that
they're usually from ego.
They're usually from ego, and we're thinking we're changing the energy, or we're thinking this is a goal to go towards, but there's all these negative energies that are blocking you the entire way.
And so if you start first with the negative energy, you can do all sorts of things.
Using the ecosystem approach. It's amazing.
So the best resolution you could ever have
is
to use the ecosystem approach starting today.
Exactly.
Listen to our show every week.
Okay.
Go to our website, sign up for the free newsletter, which has weekly newsletter, which has clearings every week.
Right. And by the way, you could have this problem or that problem, no matter what, when you're doing those clearings at the end of the show.
Money, relationships.
It doesn't matter. When you do clearing, it affects all of your energy.
You start to uncover your essence, and it starts to talk to you.
And it's amazing. It's amazing. But I know you have a story about when you were in college.
When I was in college, I read Think and Grow Rich. I had like 3 or 4 copies of it because I was wear out the book. I read it so much.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it didn't tell you how to have self-knowledge. Yeah. So I used my ego to figure out what the goals that I want, which was bad.
Okay.
And then it didn't help you remove the programming from childhood, which was shame for me. My programming from childhood was shame.
Okay.
I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy, that sort of thing. Well, very much a 6. Okay.
Very much.
So when I tried to use the Think and Grow Rich method,
implement it.
It created a downward spiral of shame, because I tried to do it. I did okay, and then I fell back, and I couldn't sustain it. And then I felt, there's something wrong with me. You can apply that to weight, to all sorts of goals,
money, all of it.
But when I started removing negative energy, then I started to change.
Yeah.
And, the truth is that what I'm doing now with the ecosystem approach is literally my life's work. And doing it with you is the best thing I could ever think about, and this is, and the truth is I didn't need to read Think and Grow Rich, and most of it doesn't apply.
Well, there was one good thing about Think and Grow Rich. When you started using the ecosystem approach and we created it and understood it more and more, you saw what it didn't have to offer.
What it didn't tell you what you needed, because it wasn't based on seeing how people actually work
individually
and help them do that. The ecosystem approach is about seeing how you operate organically, how you are naturally, and saying make you the best person you could be based on who you actually are,
right?
In reality. And when you have that, you don't need motivation. You don't need to push yourself, to drive yourself. You don't need self-discipline.
Right.
You don't need any of those stuff, because what you're doing, you want to do.
Well, and those things, you know what, that motivation and all of those things, they come naturally.
Yeah.
It's that negative energy that's holding you back, keeping you feeling, I'm going to use the word emotionally weighted, meaning there's just too much here. I can't deal with it. I mean, it's not great. So, Jason, let's do the key points and then let's talk about how to clear.
Yeah.
What do you say? Okay. So, wait a minute, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Let your essence determine your objectives and help you implement them.
Love that.
Work with your energy to create your future, not strategies and techniques.
Okay.
Work from your essence to know and create objectives. That is the best way to create your future.
I love it.
And ecosystem approach teaches you to connect with your essence to guide you for the best future.
Exactly. So for those of you who have just joined us, or you've never connected with us before, we're going to tell you how to clear. For those of you who have been working with us and are listening to the show, just, go along with this.
This is for review.
Yeah, it's just for review.
I never say the same thing every time anyway. So
doesn't matter.
One of the big things about clearing is that you don't need to be reverent. People think that you have to be serious. You have to you have to be serious or make it very important. I can do a clearing and then blow my nose or
start laughing.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of the best things about the ecosystem approach that we've discovered is that we laugh so much
because we take away the negative energy.
It's it's interesting, and we can be clearing something really, really serious. We clear it, and then we'll start laughing about something.
And it's
amazing,
and that's okay. So you can slouch. You can stand up, you can sit down, you can lay down.
And you can be driving, but I don't recommend that you close your eyes when you're driving.
Yeah. You can, if you get really good at this, you can do it two things at once, like talking to your boss and clearing at the same time.
Yes. And that does take a little practice.
I hate my job. This SOB anyways. I want to get him. Anyway, that takes a little bit of practice.
Yes.
But anyway, so when we say and to eliminate, we have a statement in the beginning, and we say and to eliminate. We gather that up in your body, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, and then blow it into a trash can. Now we say a trash can.
The processor right back there.
We have the picture of the processor right back there.
And by the way, you can find that processor, that picture, and you can even download it
and print it out.
Print it out for you.
Put it on a card stock or whatever.
Yeah,
it's on our website.
Exactly.
The ecosystem approach. You have to sign into the free section, it's kind of neat. The processor is important because what it does, it processes negative energy.
Love this.
Comes in the top there, goes in the top hopper, and gets processed and comes out neutral.
Yes.
So it takes away the negative part of the negative energy.
Exactly. And by the way, if you think of it this way, you can, yes, this is all for you, but you're also helping the negative energy in the world by processing negative energy into neutral energy. It's amazing.
It's like putting stuff into a landfill versus changing it, letting it decompose and like the carbon cycle.
Exactly.
Everything we do is natural, and that's where that came from.
Exactly.
So we should do a whole show on the process. Anyway,
we should. I hadn't even thought of that. Sure. Okay. So then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to activate life force. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that any of us have access to, and we can use that. We we use that to make our lives better. And what we do is we're going to call upon it. We're going to ask it to come in through the top of our head, go all the way down our body, our arms as well, to the tips of our toes. We stop it right there. And then we turn it around and we use the power of that life force energy to remove any negative energy that's left over. Anybody who doesn't think that there's not very much negative energy hanging around, start using the ecosystem approach and you'll see a whole bunch more.
Yes.
But we have a way to get rid of it and process it. So with that said, stay tuned when we come back. We're going to help you create your own future by understanding the energy world you live in and using the best possible way for you. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Tired of not losing the weight? You need a healthy solution for weight loss that protects your muscle mass as the fat burns away naturally. Holistic Medical Center has the healthy option for your weight loss concerns. Lose 1 to 3 pounds per day in 21 days, naturally, under our physician supervision. Call Holistic Medical Center 425-451-0404 or on the web, drdarvish.com, drdarvish.com.
Are you ready to branch out? Take a leap of faith. Tune in to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills on TransformationTalkRadio.com to equip, empower, and enlighten yourself. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. So, get fearlessly ready and get powerfully rooted in your yes to live it up, love it up, and let it go. Visit GetRootedRadio.com.
Has your kindness been used against you? Are you ready to clear the confusion and reconnect with your power? Then it's time to become toxic person proof. Join toxic relationship specialist Sarah K. Ramsey as she gives you the secrets to rebuilding and rebranding your life after a toxic person encounter. It's time to get past the past, get real about the present, and get serious about your future. For more information, visit sarahkramsey.com.
Hi, I'm Trish Laub from A Cup of Comfort, where we talk about Care Hero topics that nobody wants to talk about. Here's your Care Hero tip of the day. As a child, I took dance lessons. I would twirl through the grocery store, leap from aisle to aisle, and dance anywhere I could. One day, while giving my parents their medications, I realized that dance was my medicine. And when I took my medicine, I was more patient and focused, and my emotional and spiritual tank was filled with more of everything I needed to be a better caregiver and daughter to my parents. I realized that self-care was not selfish, but rather self-love, and that it was essential to my ability to be resilient and to recharge and thrive instead of merely survive. So now when I need to recharge, I turn up the volume and dance it off. What's your medicine? Tune into my show to learn more. See you the second and fourth Tuesday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, here on Transformation Talk Radio. Feel free to reach out to me at info@trishlaub.com.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you create your own future by understanding the energy world you live in and using it in the best possible way for you. So, you ready to get started,
Here we go.
Jason? Here we go.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see what is ego and what comes from essence for me.
Oh, that's a great one. Take a breath, everyone.
Gather up those veils and
Tips of your
illusions.
toes.
Yep.
And throw it into the processor or garbage can. And to eliminate the barrier so I can think to remove the energy blocks instead of pushing through them, the negative energy blocks as opposed to pushing through them. Take a nice breath from the tips of your toes and blow it out.
And to eliminate the anger, hate, rage, and bitterness that keeps me focused on my ego needs and my need for revenge. Take a breath.
I have no idea what that one is. Take a breath. And to eliminate my fear of trusting that I can use energy to create my future, a positive future for me, one that I know how to deal with. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that strategies and techniques do not change energy and only create blocks.
Wow. And blocks oftentimes in the future.
Yep.
Take a breath.
Gather up those barriers.
You don't need them. Blow them out.
Blow them in the processor.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that I can have my future that is aligned with my essence. I love that one, Jason. I love it. Take a breath. And blow out any negative energy that's blocking you from alignment.
And to eliminate the false belief that generic strategies will work for me, especially in terms of New Year's resolutions. Won't happen. Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Gather up that false belief. Yeah.
And to eliminate the false belief that says the easy way, the trained way, the programmed way is the easy way. So that's the one that's best for me. When the truth is, no, it isn't. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that trends in my own life by understanding the energy that's attached to me.
Oh, that's a good one. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the benefit of the Enneagram by seeing the negative energy. Take a breath. Into the processor.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can use astrology as a language for energy in my life and the trends for me.
I love that. Take a breath. Go ahead.
And to eliminate the fear of looking at the world in any different way than I do now.
Oh,
which is probably a programmed way.
Exactly.
So hey,
Yeah.
you can get rid of it. Put it
Sure.
right in the processor.
There
right
you
now.
go. Take a breath. So, Jason, let's activate some life force. You ready?
Okay.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions so I can activate life force energy for all that I need, want, desire, and deserve, not only for today, but for my future as well. Take a breath. Let it come in all the way to the tips of your toes. Stop it. Turn around. Any negative energy, blow it into that processor back there.
And to activate life force so I can have hope for the future, that I can create what's in alignment with my essence.
I love that.
Take a breath and gather that up.
And blow out any negative energy. And to activate life force so I can trust that I can work on energy in my life and I can have a huge impact in a very positive way, starting for myself. Take a breath. Nice and easy, all the way in, and blow any negative energy out.
And to activate life force so I can have the determination to make my energy be at the center of my life.
I love it. Take a breath. And to activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and love myself and love others and have understanding and clarity, awareness and objectivity, creativity, and hope that I can do energy work that's in my highest and best interest, starting right now, today. Take a breath. Let that come in. Any negative energy, blow it out. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Okay, we've got 2 shows.
Oh.
We're going to do a show tomorrow.
Okay.
And that's going to be a lot of fun. And you have to listen to this one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fill-in for Dr. Pat at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. It's about being an intuitive couple. Now, it's being intuitive is really weird. I mean, people have crossed the street when they after they know that we're intuitive.
We've seen some pretty.
They don't know what that means, but it can't be good.
Yes, yes.
And being married to another intuitive is even weirder.
Well, yes.
So on the weird scale, it's you've got to listen to the show because we're gonna talk about really, seriously, the most important thing we're going to talk about tomorrow is how we came to create the ecosystem approach and our motivation.
Yeah.
We've been around. We've been to other psychics, clairvoyants, mediums,
Correct.
and before we started doing this work, and we saw a lot of stuff, and some of it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And it molded how we created the ecosystem approach and how we use this for you guys.
Exactly. And one of the things I want to say is one of the things that we discovered is how what people say really affects us.
Yeah.
And we figured out by using the ecosystem approach, we can decide what's in our best interest and what isn't.
Exactly.
It's truly
it's an amazing show.
Yes.
But the next Monday,
okay,
we're going to talk about it. This
is a real strange one.
But it's going to be fun.
Okay.
It's about time travel and time travel to do healing.
Oh yes.
And I've never thought about it. We've been doing that on behalf of my mom.
Yes, we have. That's right.
And
that's right. And by the way, it works.
Yes. Now,
definitely.
we always try and make everything we do practical.
We do.
And so it's not going to be airy-fairy. It's going to be what you can do in terms of time travel for you personally to make your life better right now.
Exactly. And we're actually really good examples of it. That's the way I understand it. So I'm looking forward. Actually, I'm looking forward to both of them, both shows. And I guarantee you tomorrow we will definitely make you laugh. That is for sure.
Well, it's a fun show.
Exactly.
And it's I was trying to create some jokes, two psychics.
Lord save us all. Lord save.
Okay. I wasn't very successful. So,
right. So Jason, let's go on. And why is the ecosystem approach so important?
So if you're,
to me personally, I should say.
Well, and if you're listening right now and you want to create your own future, maybe you thought, oh my God, that little voice said, your trend isn't right. The trend in your life isn't going in the right direction.
Right.
We feel for you. We do this work because we want to help you. We want to make things better for you personally.
Yeah. And
it's the ecosystem approach.
Okay, I love it.
And the ecosystem approach is easy to start with. It's not hard. It's not not precise. You have to do this. You have to do this. It's easy. But it can take you. We've had clients that have been with us for 10, 15 years because they keep coming back for more and more information, and they get it.
And learning how to be better for them.
Yes, using the ecosystem approach.
Exactly. So don't forget about our Facebook page.
Oh, this Facebook Live. If you're listening on audio right now, you can also see our ugly faces on Facebook Live, and it's recorded.
Okay.
So if you go to our Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org, and it's got a little yellow sun there, and you can listen to us if you're there. Please like me.
Yeah.
He
gets upset.
I need to be liked, like anybody else.
Yeah.
And if you want to leave a comment, please do that too.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, we'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio. Do not forget about the show tomorrow at 10 a.m. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember that your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.